It's the most wonderful time of the year. Welcome to ToV Live. It is Valhalla time, and I'm surprised I belted that out of my lungs. I really am, because the lungs are being affected.
The whole thing was a ruse. It was a whole ruse.
That's all the bars you're going to hear tonight. All right, and that's got nothing to do with why we're here. Hi, I'm Ryan, Tales of Valhalla. I have with me Jason. Jason, who are you? Tabletop Battlefield, right? Okay, Rocker Robotics. My goodness, my brain. Joe Crazy. Jeremy, whose his face isn't there, but he's there. He's there. The Elysium call it. And we have as a guest on our panel tonight, returning Tabletop Bro. Welcome to you, Austin, tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad you can join us. We kind of like we wanted you to come on when was the Age of Annihilation countdown night. You know, where the final seconds of the of that crowdfunding campaign was going down to zero, because we had a blast. That was a fun night. So, first question to you.
It was.
First question to you. We were asking about people their Heroscape pickup lines, and so I'll give you some time to think about it. But what would be your Heroscape pickup line? The world needs to know.
And the world does need to know.
I did not and just for everybody present, I did not tell him that I was going to ask that.
No, he did not. Yeah, I'm caught completely off guard here. That's a good one.
Ooh. Anyway, while he's thinking about it, so we're here tonight on this. Basically, this will be the last ToV live or ToV podcast recording for the year of 2022. Yeah, no, not for all time, just for the year.
We'll see you next year, everybody.
We will see you next year. Yes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that
2024.
Yeah, 2023.
One whole year.
January 8th. We'll be back. January 8th.
2024.
So, but I'll like I said, I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Tonight, we're going to talk about some of the Age of Annihilation proxies, because we were given about 30 cards of information of miniatures of Heroscape, and so we're going to talk a little bit about what the Heroscape community has been doing with those things. Go through that. Might be a short discussion, might be a long one. I don't know, but you know what? It's that time of the year where we need a little bit of a present, you know, and so this is the best we can do. These are the gifts that we've been given, and I know it's almost like a broken bicycle, you know, on the bottom of the tree when you could have a full. What's the? Is it a Schwinn? I think a Schwinn's a classic, right? Right.
Is that a type of bike?
It is a type of bike.
Schwinn is a type of bike.
It is a type of bike. See, okay.
I worked in the bike industry for 2 years. So.
That's knowledge I have not acquired.
So we were expecting that, but we just got something that was, you know, it's functional, maybe as an exercise bike or something, but you know, it wasn't what we wanted. But you know, we got to.
Schwinn also makes exercise bikes. Ryan, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you work with undead demons, orcs, and goblins?
Do I?
Because you're Val Krill in my heart.
Ah, that one I did not. That is a good one. Ooh, I like it.
I'm leaving.
There you go. See? Okay.
I'm gone. I'm out.
Austin, it's a date. I'm married, but it's a date.
I'm gone.
All good. Keep it on the down low.
I'm so mad.
Your wife can come if she wants.
I would say I would give an adult response, but I can't. Okay. I Hunt Monsters. Welcome. Hi. There on the chat. I Hunt Monsters. He's just saying. Love the idea of a proxy model stream. I was one of the people posting models in that thread. I've already picked a few to print out. Yeah, you know that. I was looking at it just a tiny bit. I haven't looked at much all of it. I should have done more research, but I didn't. But that gives me a little bit of hope. But like I said, we'll talk about this in a second. One other question, and before my lungs totally block my nasal passages, I am a little sick, just so you all know. But one question I want to ask you, Tabletop Bro, because you haven't made any videos after the campaign of Age of Annihilation is done, so you don't have to talk about everything, but just one or two points about your thoughts towards the end of that campaign before we get started. And oh my gosh,
You're putting me in the hot seat.
yeah.
So
I can stop talking.
This is what the people really want to
It's
really
boiling.
come see.
Yeah.
Indeed, dude. I was like because you told me that you wanted to ask me this, so I was like playing it out in my head so that I wouldn't swear. Like all day I've been thinking about it. It's, how can I convey this information without swearing? What? A clock. What can I say? I'm trying to. I'm doing my best to censor myself. It was just the whole thing was such a cluster fire truck, you know, just the whole everything. We saw the worst sides of both consumers, because good gravy. We saw the worst sides in, you know, producers because they fumbled the ball so hard in multiple ways. I think one of the reasons why, like, I pretty much kind of gave up on making Heroscape videos, not because they weren't doing well, they were doing really well, but just I was so sick of like the discussion around it because everyone was saying the same negative things like over and over and over again, and I was still huffing the copium up until like, you know, about a week prior. Like I kind of knew, like we all saw the writing on the wall. I was like, this probably isn't gonna fun. But then you start getting these like freaking troglodytes who were just like gleefully like, you know, just being these like horrible toxic messes. And you know, they're showing up in my comments. I'm getting notifications of them like all the time, and it was like really, like it was for some stupid reason it was like messing with my mental health. So I wasn't even gonna put out the last 2 bits of the interview with Chris and Pat. But then a bunch of people in the Discord were like, "Dude, please, we want to see this," and you know they were being cool. Like I'm pooping on a vast majority of the community, but there is a very large chunk that were very, very cool people. I mean, that's how I ended up here amongst you lot. And there are people who are like really cool, but so much of that community is just like, yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like. It also made me realize it's like, do I not care enough about this? Because like sometimes, like, you know, they would like release something, and you know, people are like frothing at the mouth, like, oh, the units are too different from the classic Heroscape release. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's dope. I'm ready to buy it and you know paint it or whatever. And the painted, unpainted, like. That was a whole ordeal, and I'm like, do I not care enough? Should I be upset over these things? Am I a fake fan? Kind of harkening back to a previous segment that I may or may not have turned into a YouTube short. So that was running through my brain, and then I guess I'll wrap it up with the other thought that I kind of prepared. If I was Avalon Hill, they screwed the pooch in multiple ways. I mean, the apology letter, if you could call it that they released was. Yeah, Jeremy knows, Joe knows, Brian, you know, Jason knows. That was like, come on, dude. We all, yeah. And like the fact, you know, they're like, we're not going to let this fail. And then, you know, the last week and a half, they're like, see ya. It's just like, bro, what are you doing? And like, there were so many missteps that they took. Like, if I was Avalon Hill, first off, they should have had all of this stuff prepared. You know, theoretically, they had been working on this 18 months in advance of, you know, the announcement. Feel free to chime in here, lads, but it did not seem like they had been working on it. You know,
we got all this out of our systems last time, like 2 weeks ago.
I know.
So
yeah.
You're on the psychiatrist couch, and we're the listeners.
Oh, thank you. But it did not feel like, you know, they had been working on it for 18 months prior to the announcement. It felt like they had been working on it for 8 weeks prior to the announcement, and then they're just knitting their parachutes. And then after the first announcement that the units wouldn't be painted, if I was Avalon Hill, after the response of the community, because like, let's be real, we all know this was just Hasbro saying, oh, I bet we don't have to put any work in and we can make a ton of money off of these old. I'm not blaming Avalon Hill, total homies. I'm blaming Hasbro, because as Jeremy confirmed before the show, he's been following the drama. Hasbro scum. The D&D people know all about that. But the whole thing felt like the Hasbro execs were like, we can make easy money off of this without putting any work into it. And then, you know, just off of the old nostalgic fan base. And then the second that like they announced that the units wouldn't be unpainted, And the Heroscape community is like 5,000 people. Like 2,500 people after that was announced were not on board. They were like, verb this, I'm out. Like the second that happened, it's like they should have been like, okay, let's course correct. Plan B, screw the old fans. Let's just focus on marketing this to new fans as a new game. And then the old fans who don't suck, like they'll, hop on board. But then like don't even worry about the old fans. That's what I would have done if I were in their shoes. I've mentioned multiple times my broadcast career. One of the things that I tell new camera ops, one of the biggest mistakes they make is they will try to, they point their camera on two things at once, and it's like, dude, just commit to one thing. And I think if they had just committed, like, the old community is not large enough, and they're getting butthurt over every single news release, which also bothered me. Every single time you release news, people from the old community are getting butthurt and leaving. So screw the old community, focus on bringing in new people. I think it would have been successful that way, and I think that's everything.
I'm just impressed with the fact that there was not a curse word uttered.
Dude, I was practicing all day.
Make that a career.
I was practicing all day.
Okay, well, great. Yep. Do you feel better? Do you feel a little bit?
That was oddly cathartic. Yeah,
tiny bit better. Yeah. See,
I asked Dadscaper because I wanted to do. Well, I still want to do a video on like maybe C3V's future. Mm-hmm. But this whole business about the proxies also, because like I wanted to do like I had a number of people on my original What Killed Heroscape video, which by the way, Pat and Chris watched and took influence from, although I don't think that's an accolade now, given the colossal failure that Age of Annihilation was. But anyway, so they were commenting on that one. They're like, you should do another one on how it failed again. And I'm like, I don't want to do that, because what could I say that hasn't been said already? And like I've certainly had negative moments about the game. For one, I think the lore is trash, but like there's so much negativity about the game online. I don't want to be one of those people that's just constantly poo-pooing it. Which once again, that kind of goes back to so much of the community being toxic. Like the toxicity wasn't limited to the negative people. I just want to like put that out there. The positive people, or like the Heroscape, you know what I'm talking about. They were also toxic. Like in response to my like the lore is kind of mid, but I'm still excited for this project. I had someone like call me out, like, oh, you're just like farming for clicks. You're trash. Blah 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 blah. This game is amazing. Everything about it is wonderful. And I'm like, chill out, man. Like, it's not that serious. Nobody's dying over the fact that I think the lore is kind of bad. Okay.
Minus Tales of Valhalla, right? Right.
Wait, what about Tales of Valhalla?
The lore.
Oh, dude, you're not official.
Okay.
You're not official lore.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the official stuff they put out.
Which isn't much. Yeah.
Yeah, and what, like, dude, so here's the, I'm going to say this now. Chris hasn't hit me up since it ended, so Chris, sorry. Dude, his, like, in the original rendition of that video that the lore sucks that I wanted to put out, like, I was trying to think of a way to not be a turd Ferguson, because I had spoken with Chris before, and I know he wrote it personally. Dude, the writing was so bad. I'm just going to say it right now. Like, Chris, I'm sorry if you're even watching.
He probably is, or probably will.
Bad. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. It was pretty bad.
I will say, as far as the writing that was done for the characters, like the reveals.
Yeah.
He actually said he would do those the day of. So like,
yeah. Chris, come on.
There's no editing. There's no So.
Oh.
But like stuff like that, like you said, should have been done beforehand.
Yeah. You
Why are things being done the day of?
Yeah.
That should have been our first sign.
Yeah. Yeah. And
we were our rose-colored glasses. We were like, new stuff every day. What?
Yeah, we're all hype, because it's like, oh, this hasn't, been a thing for 12 years and now it's back. And then
right.
Yeah, it's to quote the great BoJack Horseman, not the character, the show. Joe knows what I'm gonna say. That's the thing about wearing, rose-colored glasses. All the red flags just look like flags,
Yeah, nice.
That's not that's BoJack Horseman right there, but Yeah, that's not me. That's Wanda from BoJack Horseman. But
Nice.
yeah, a lot that was done wrong. But anyway,
And
I feel great.
good. Then we can move on to the proxy part then.
That's
those
the whole point of the proxies is moving on.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't want to steal your segue. It's
Right.
your show.
No,
but
no,
I
no,
was
that's
like-
fine. That's fine. No, you're good.
So that segues into we've got this whole proxy thing that
Thank you, Jeremy. I was gonna mention that. Those of you who are
Okay.
on Twitch, yeah, it looks like I got a bot account.
That's how you know you made it.
Apparently. And I'm sure there's people watching on YouTube because I'm streaming both on Twitch and YouTube. So hi to all you YouTube watchers out there too. If you want to feel free to comment, ask a question or an opinion, please do, and I will make sure I get to read it. But yeah, new year, looking forward. So this is probably the last time. It might come up in conversation in later podcasts. It probably will. But as far as anything in depth or ranting or, like you say, poo-pooing, this is probably one of the last times that we're going to be doing this because it is just better just to move on. Those who are responsible, you need to learn from your mistakes and move on as well. But there's besides that, it's out of our hands. We only can do what we can do.
To just throw on another bit of that, it's like, how many times can we have the same exact conversation that we've been having since October 15th or what? Since the first weekend. How many times can we have the same conversation? And it's the same exact conversation. It's the same conversation every single time. Guys, you'll never believe this. This is a startling revelation. No one's ever said this. They should have had tears. Wow. Why did nobody ever think of that before? Why did nobody say that?
Okay, I'll say this one thing. I'll say this one thing because this is what blew my mind too. Like looking at this a week after. Yeah. Hero Quest. They had tears.
Hero Quest had tears?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
I thought it was a flat $100 buy-in.
I looked at the crowdfunding campaign.
Those two.
Like a little bit after Age of Annihilation was done, and that was one of my biggest gripes 2 weeks ago when we were talking. I don't want to buy Hero Quest, and I looked at their crowdfunding campaign and I wanted to buy it because it just looked that the presentation was just that good. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna start weeping if we keep on going. So
should we continue to have the same exact conversations that we've been having?
Let's
It's
move
never
on.
ending cycle.
Maybe a painted option. They should just release the. They should have just re-released Rise of the Valkyrie. I'm sure they had the
Right.
molds.
Right, yeah.
That was the dumbest freaking thing I've ever seen. Yeah, why don't they just reprint? They already have the molds. My brother in Christ.
Okay, as much as. Okay, let's not try and knock on people too much. People are free to say whatever they want to say, as much as we might think differently. And moving on. Okay, so
And they're allowed to say it. I'm just gonna make fun of them.
Annihilation. Annihilation.
We're combined.
Annihilation Compendium. So we had about before the campaign ended. We had and I hunt monsters. Oh, bless you. Okay, I have to say this. Okay, here we go back into the pit. But I hunt monsters. I love you. I Hunt Monster says, not only did Hero Quest have tiers, but enough models to make a Heroscape Master set, terrain included. If you also use Arena of the Planeswalkers boards, we were so close to getting a good price point. But yeah, conversation's been done to death. Yes. Okay, moving on. Thank you, I Hunt Monsters, for the comment. It's good. No, feel free to. Like I said, I don't want to dissuade anybody from commenting. Your comments are gold.
Do you think the new models were too much of a departure from? I'm just kidding. I'm just cracking laughs.
There he goes.
Here we go. So I'm not going to go through all these cards, but anyway, we got cards dropped to us, and it was about 30, and that's great. So after the shock. Not too much of a shock. After the campaign ended, we realized, well, we still have these cards, and they're still up there. They're still up there, and if you're watching this on YouTube, links should already be in the description below for Hasbro Pulse and for everything we're going to be talking about now. But the cards are there to download, to work on yourselves. And Dadscaper, and we'll have Dadscaper. I guarantee we're going to have him next year.
He's a total homie.
Oh yeah.
Well,
he's
I
awesome.
will say, Ryan, the
Yes, sir.
cards on the compendium, there have been minor changes to a lot of those cards.
We're gonna get to
and
that.
That website, okay,
We're going to get to that.
So-
we're going to get to that.
okay.
I have a question related to the cards, and no, this isn't me trolling, and I'm gonna poll like one of the questions that people have been asking for the past. Genuine question here. So, do you think that whichever like employee of Avalon Hill, it's like the final days of the campaign, it's clearly gonna fail. Like, the Imperial Stormtroopers are at the blast gates, and then you've got this one Avalon Hill employee that has the USB stick with the cards, and he's like, he like passes it through the door, and he's like, "This must go on." And then Darth Vader just kills him, and the dude grabs it, and they like run, and the whole ship is like, Hasbro's just tanking the ship, just like, and then the whole thing is crashing into Alderaan or whatever, and then this one person's like, "Run!" and just plugs in the USB stick and uploads these cards. Do you think that was the case at Avalon Hill / Hasbro HQ?
Yeah.
Because it is a
I don't
baller
know.
move.
But
That
if,
they uploaded all of the cards. Well,
as
Not
much as
all
they
of
could.
them, but yeah,
A lot
a
of
majority,
them.
yeah, a good
But
chunk.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dadscaper was the one that mentioned it on the forums. He said he thinks it was kind of a gift to the fans, kind of like they knew it wasn't really going to be able to happen, so they gave us what they could. And even Patrick said that was everything that they had finished, like out. So anything else, everything else they didn't really have a finished version of, but those were the finished. Like they finished all of that to get
See,
it out to us before.
you think
So-
Patrick was the one who took the USB stick from the Avalon Hill employee right before he got
fought
by
them
Darth
off.
Vader? Yeah, and
Yeah. I could see it.
yeah.
Either him or
put it-
Avalon Bill.
They put it in R2D2, and then
Right.
November 15th comes and the blast doors open. You see Darth. Anyway,
No, but I'm gonna say, someone out there make a meme of that, and I'll have it on here. And someone out there, if you want to make a video meme of that, I'll give you a $25 gift card.
damn,
As long as I'm impressed, I'll give you $25.
it does sound like fan art waiting to happen.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Tired to-
make it and make me laugh too, because I'm sure you could with a move like that. That's a challenge out there. All right, for all few of you
For
watching.
anyone who's good with After Effects, if you make it in After Effects, I'll
Yeah.
give you $0 because I'm poor. But I'll think you're really cool.
Yeah, how Monster says that whole scene sounds like fan art waiting to happen. Yep.
Nice.
So yes, these cards. So we're not going to get into much of these, but Dadscaper commented on Heroscapers here, and yeah, I'm just going to actually, to save my throat, Joe, do you have this up, or Joe or Jeremy, or
I got it.
go ahead and Jeremy
I don't have that up.
and read this one. The greetings, gentle reader interested in Age of Annihilation. It's that one.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
can
So
you do that?
announcement incoming right here. Pay attention, for heaven's sake. Put down your coffee. This is serious, and I mean serious. That was in red capital letters, by the way. And it says, "Greetings, gentle reader. Interested in Age of Annihilation. Thank you for your attention to this moment in the history of our beloved game." Ooh, where'd it go? There it went. Sorry, I tabbed out. I would like to share something with you. The Avalon Hill team released many units to the world, and to us, the community, including several even as the campaign was winding down, with no chance of success. I'm fortunate to have been released from the NDA to discuss certain subjects, including the evolution of designs that have been released. To that end, I am permitted to say, and I do say, the following. Every unit that was released was in final form to our satisfaction as designers and play testers. The only changes that might have followed were cosmetic, including 1, names of units and powers, and 2, precise height value. Other than those 2 things, these units were all final to our satisfaction and to Craig. I've heard but not seen that some expressed a concern that these designs were still beta. They were not. They were finished. Were they released as part of a finished AH product? No, but they were finished. Thank you. So, yeah, everything that we got on that site, those are official Heroscape designs, release ready, and you can play them as official Heroscape design. Because they aside from the small little stat adjustment that they mentioned,
which is great. That message was better than the thank you letter, or not
Yes,
thank
it
you
was.
letter, but the exit letter. You know, if they could have just posted that, you know,
Yeah.
on there,
What,
and I think that would
what's
have
wrong
been
with the thank you letter?
tons better. Besides being totally deflated and losing hope in all humanity and outlook over.
well,
Or did I say
we
that
just
out
have to
loud?
go get. We just have to wait for the next Avalon Hill product. You know,
I have
buy
to
that.
hit the old dusty trail.
No, and I'm going to give some kudos to
Oh,
whoever
wrong way.
to whoever the people out there. Anytime Avalon Hill now posts something on Twitter, on Instagram, I don't know about
There's
TikTok,
so much
but
comments, spam.
but they're posting their other games, and majority of the
Where's
comments down
Heroscape?
below is here. It's just Heroscape. I'm just like, yes, that
Let's
is like,
go.
do that troll. I just, I mean, normally I don't encourage trolling, but that
spam upgrade.
Yep.
It was so funny.
Yep. I applaud. Just a little bit of applaud. Taking like 5 seconds out of your day to do that. Yes, absolutely.
Wait, so did they just say like, I'm just gonna look it up myself. I'm gonna be a big kid.
I'm sure they say a lot more than just spam the word Heroscape, but
Yeah,
I think it was.
yeah. A lot
But
of
it's-
times it's like,
people are
when are you
being
gonna bring back
proud of
Heroscape, or there's usually asking questions, but Heroscape is in their message.
yeah.
so.
Because now we know that it was a possibility. We never knew it was going to be a possibility. We didn't know who was going to do it, what was going to happen. Now we know who's would do it, how they would do it. It was a possibility, and so technically we know it's a possibility still. So
Oh yeah.
What better Christmas present than more betrayal at the house on the hill?
yeah,
Heroscape.
Oh, is that what
Heroscape
you were
would have been a
saying?
better Christmas
yeah. No, that was one of the latest ones that just got posted.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the most
no.
recent one. That's so funny.
It's just it makes you smile, It makes you
It
smile.
does. That's really funny.
So thank you to all you out there doing that.
Are you ready to change the world? Carlos is on hand to brief all generals willing to fight for the fate of humanity in this Risk Shadow Forces How to Play video. Wow, a video that shows the full box contents and gameplay? How come you weren't aware of this strategy in October?
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, they said they're learning from the campaign, so maybe they just came up with it in the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Again, yeah, and all this, not knocking Avalon Hill unless they need it. Not knocking unfairly. It's just,
Yeah.
come on, come on.
Okay, I gotta stop looking at the Twitter responses. 'Cause I'm gonna derail this entire show by reading them out because they're really funny.
Okay, any thoughts on Dadscaper's comments? There, just it's fair, right?
yeah.
I think
No, he's a goat. He's
Yeah.
a goat.
He's a real Wayne Gretzky.
He definitely opened a lot of discussion in the last couple of days because it was really funny. Was he specifically requested people not to make any books, right? And for the nomenclature, right, or I should say, like the jargon in the Heroscape community, a book is an official thread that lists all the rules and synergies associated with a particular character. And so, like, literally within a day, he's like, please don't make any books for the AOA characters. I can't tell you why. Just don't do it. And everyone's like, what? Like, and they're people. Okay, so people in the Heroscape community pay really close attention to every single, like, word you say. So, yeah, that immediately became a massive discussion. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Tell us. And he's like, I can't tell you, but just don't do it. And we're all sitting here just kind of like, squirming, I guess, trying to figure out what it meant. And it turns out that he was actually working on finalizing the details with Craig Van Ness and the other people about what particular content he was allowed to talk about in his NDA. And he found out that they were allowed to talk about the 30 cards that were released, but nothing else. Like, finding details of that, the stats of that. Like, they just wanted to make sure they had to clarify it first with, legalese and all that stuff. And found out that was that was the permission they secured for us, so they could release these cards and then talk about it. So, but yeah, that was a really funny moment because it was like, wait, are they still gonna release it? That's what some people said. I'm like, no,
Of course.
No. Don't read in between those lines.
yeah, no. It's just,
Shouts to the Heroscape community for just huffing the most hopium out of
yeah,
any community ever. Like when they're like, when Chris
Pain.
said, like,
The pain.
Chris is like, we're not gonna, this is it. Most
still
likely.
gonna
And they're
come
like, he
out.
said most likely. He said most likely. He didn't say never. He said if you connect the dots, if you do the calculus and plug it into the algebra, new Heroscape released in 2036.
Somewhere out
And
there,
they're gonna
someone
say that and
has
be like,
a
oh, well,
board
Austin
with
said 2036.
strings,
I'll be alive in
just
2036.
connecting everything.
oh no.
Newspaper images of Craig Van Ness and then Chris and then Patrick, and they're just all strings are connected. And you got a big Hasbro thing on top of it.
Oh, you mean the Charlie from It's Always Sunny meme? The Pepe
Yeah.
Sylvia meme?
Yep.
All right. No, this
I
is
love
fun.
it.
This is
These
fun.
these books are great though. By the way, I'm going through
Yeah,
some
they-
of these books. They're fantastic.
Did-
I love how
did they make
fast
the
they
books?
do it.
Okay, I don't have a link to
Yeah.
that. You guys are gonna have to share me the link. But so Joe was talking about the changes, and I do have a link in the description below on YouTube for this already.
Yeah. So if
The-
for anyone that hasn't already
changes.
downloaded the images,
Right.
go to the Heroscapers.com website, go to the Age of Annihilation thread, go find the books, download the images and the cards there. Don't go to the compendium.
Right.
Some of them are going to be incorrect.
Why don't
So-
you, Joe? Why don't you send me that link so I can
Okay.
have it on my
Yep.
on this page that I have right here? Because I have like excuse me, I have some corrections, like a list of corrections, but apparently books have been made, so that might be better to look at. But there is a link for this, like designs changes, and here let me just get this from Joe. And I'll bring this over here. Okay. Let's see here.
Because even at that, the card, as soon as I saw them put up the card designs that the community have put up, I was like, wow, that's great.
And so, okay.
That is fantastic.
So here is, okay, and you got the beta rulebook, and you got, so some of these aren't ready yet, though, right? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, that means okay. So the ones obviously you can click on are the ones that are done.
Right.
Other ones are haven't done. So
They're-
for example,
they're
even
being
First
worked on.
Officer Bach Bernard hasn't been done.
Okay.
Yeah, and Parrot or Kane hasn't been done, but a good chunk of them have been completed.
And even ones not revealed that they have here. That's kind of cool. Yeah, just keep on working on it, guys. That's good. So this link I will post after. So it will be on the YouTube description below after this live stream is done. Can't make that change right now. And excuse me, I'm losing my voice. It's a happening. Had to happen sometime. All right. Well, that's great. Any particular book did we want to look at? Anything that stood out to you, Joe, or anybody who's looked at it?
Not particular. I was just looking at Scavarets, and that's because I just like Revna's card. I like Anatar's version of how Revna cards would look like. Because I know they were going to change the model. They weren't going to be orange at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
And I love that they were orange. I thought that was amazing. That felt like such a personal thing for me because I love orange so much. And so the way they have he designed the card and have the orange border and there's all this like a peach tan color and it's all deserty and it's like, oh, that's so cool. I think the art design for that is just so cool. I have no idea how he did that because it looked fantastic.
So I remember she was mentioning there's a site that does that. Like you can do like upload custom.
Oh, I know, like Magic Set Editor. I use Magic
Yeah.
Set Editor, but I'm just saying
That's
even
what-
like the color change because on the website, or I should say on that application on Magic Set Editor, you can just drag and drop, or just like there's a tab which says, oh, which general do you want to make a card for? Is it Jandar, Ukar, Ular, Vidar, whoever? But obviously Revna's not there, so I don't know how he was able to change. Now I think there are ways to do it. I have to look into it. I did remember seeing some kind of post about changes for Magic Set Editor. But initially, like how to get those files in and how they put together and like changing all the colors, maybe they just photoshopped it, used GIMP or used whatever. But
that's the name that I haven't heard in a long time.
Really? I use GIMP all the time. It's fantastic.
I started on GIMP, before I got Photoshop in college.
Yeah. So Anatar did a fantastic job, and if he had anyone else help him do it, but it came out fantastic. So props to you guys, the whole community, for putting this stuff together so quickly too.
This is the amazing side of the community. This is the fortunate thing is that this is the side of the community that will persist, and all the toxic, I was about to swear, all of the toxic doo-doo heads are crawling back into the primordial ooze, and then all the cool people are left.
Amazing.
Yeah. And look, even with the Facebook page, like it's calmed down so much, and people are just posting what they love about the game and posting their daily pictures about their maps and all this cool stuff. So it's back to normal already. It only took a couple weeks.
What I love is this Knight Primus Adelburn proxy model, the Arcturi Vanguard. Let's friggin' go! This is the sickest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Is that the second link or the third?
I believe it is
link.
the second link.
Knight Primus.
Knight Primus Adelburn. I believe it's the second. Let me double check. I'm full of baloney. I am a real deletician because I'm full of baloney. It's the first link under Knight Primus Adelburn.
This is really good.
Dude,
wow.
First pose is like, when I looked at it, I'm like, I think I'd have to go with double axes because dual axes are sick. But dude, that first pose is just
That's nice.
amazing.
But I like the axes. I definitely.
The
like
axes are sick, but dude, that first pose.
Yeah, I know.
Oh wow.
Do it.
This makes me want to blow all my money on minis. Like, that is just incredible. This just confirms Clockwork Combine is, maybe they weren't the best during the development, which they were, but, given these proxies, they are definitely the best forever after, because, like... And then I was also looking at the Ordo Borealis, the second link. I'll let you guys pull it up.
Yes.
I'm so tempted to buy all 5. Like,
yeah,
this is dangerous. This is dangerous for my wallet.
They might be not like not bears, but it is probably the best we're gonna get out of the options.
Sick,
right?
Because like they're holding these giant cannons, they're big furry creatures. They fit the bill for what the card and the
like they're
abilities
horribly expensive either for proxies. So.
No, and that's what's great
thing.
about 3D printed stuff that's unpainted on Etsy. Etsy's my best friend currently, and I go through there every day looking for all sorts of different models. I have a whole list that I just add. I just favorite things, put it to a list, and be like, maybe I'll make a custom of that, and maybe I'll buy that, and maybe I'll buy that.
I need to start doing that. That's a good idea.
We did kind of like do a hard transition into this link, but like link for the AOA proxy model thread will be in is it in the description below actually, so you guys can check
follow with us, and please tell us in the chat which ones to look at, because
there
are a lot of models.
I wasn't able to look at all of them. A lot of good creators out there.
I just looked at all the Clockwork Combine models for obvious reasons.
Yes. Okay. Let me ask you then, because I have a personal favorite. Which is your favorite burrow breaker out of the 4?
Let me.
I like those guys too. So let me see. Let me see this. Okay, Vord.
Not the first one.
Okay, the first one's pretty sick. Oh, I like the first one. That's steezy. Oh, nice. But the second one. Oh, the third one's mid. Third one is duty. The fourth one, no.
Nice.
But
nice, very nice.
I'm gonna go with the second one.
Mole people.
Thank you. Even though it's not.
Hmm.
It doesn't. Oh yeah, I can see the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the third one that isn't
That's
a
a
mole.
dwarf.
Yeah, that's not a mole. So
Right, and so that's part of it. So obviously, I talked to my friends about it, and it's like the first one, obviously.
the fourth one isn't bad, but
The
it's
fourth
not-
one is not great.
Nah,
No,
it's a very basic pose.
Yeah,
It's like what you would pose a miniature in 1993.
Yeah, not even close. We're going backwards, not
but
forwards
it helps.
with
But
that
yeah,
one.
no, you're right. I would say the second one. Yeah, the second one is just like wow.
Just
It's not a drill?
weapon isn't cool anymore.
Look, here's the thing. I just learned this new Gen Z term. It's called Riz. Apparently, they've been saying it for 6 months. That has some Riz. I don't fully understand what Riz means, but the second model, Rizzy as hell.
I just turned 40. I don't know what you're talking about. So
I learned about it. You know, they've been saying it for 6 months. I just learned about it, but Riz, it's another word for steez. Do you know what steez is? That was kind of intentional. Do you know what drip is?
I know drip.
I think it's
I'm familiar.
adjacent. I think
I'm
Riz
so
is
familiar with
adjacent
drip.
to drip. I
Okay.
think.
I can follow now.
I believe it's drip adjacent.
I think you need to go all the way back to 90s terms.
Groovy.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
It was real. It's real swell.
All right, now I'm
Is
gonna
that,
go change into my suspenders and flannels now.
All right. She was a real floozy.
Oh no. That's amazing.
I love that term.
All right, let me see. I look at obviously we can't look at all these, but
I was looking at the dreadnoughts of the new Tortuga just because that name is just incredible, and I was confused. None of them really like stuck out to me, but like they really gave the Dawn Raider units really cool names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exiles of the Sundred Sea, like bro, let's go.
We were supposed to get a new map.
yeah,
Yeah.
that hurts. Talking about all this does hurt.
What is
Does hurt a lot.
age? Come on. What is that gonna? What are you guys gonna really do with that map? Unless, and I hate to break your
my
heart,
God.
guys. Maybe
Oh,
they just
no.
didn't have a map.
Well,
I mean,
in interviews
given
with Chris, it
wasn't
wasn't
done.
something that was done.
just
So yeah,
saying.
they didn't. They didn't. They technically they didn't. They were
I
just
bet-
starting to get it conceptualized.
I bet they didn't have it in the slightest.
Well, no, they had the compass thing, whatever that thing was that they showed us. That's probably all they had.
Anybody can draw a compass.
Here's
I mean, it was a nice compass.
Let's see Paul Allen's compass. Sorry, it felt right.
No, that's a good one.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so on that note, without identifying individuals because they're all very nice, do you think Avalon Hill is the Peter Molyneux of tabletop role-playing games? That's a deep cut. Though Ryan and Jason, that should be you guys were in your like.
I never played
Mid-20s.
any of his games. That's the problem.
But you know about the
I know
whole
what game.
controversy about Fable, right?
I do not. I never played Fable. I
Well,
never played a-
Fable's great, but it was
Well,
promised to be like this.
wasn't-
Sorry, go ahead.
It was didn't they kill the dog in the game that made everyone upset, or was that a
Okay,
different controversy?
Don't bring that trauma back up. That's Fable 2. You can bring it back, and if you don't select the bring the
Okay,
dog back
never
option,
mind.
you are Satan. But no, so in the original Fable, like Peter Molyneux was, basically promised all of these features that the game didn't have, and then it came out and the game didn't have it. So the deep cut joke there is Avalon Hill, who teased this map, this mysterious map that they probably didn't even start. Are they the Peter Molyneux of tabletop role playing games?
I do-
And I
very
think I
vaguely
remember that story a tiny bit. But not
Didn't
enough
he do that
to
with a
make
couple of other games
make a
too?
choice on that.
Well, because he was the head of Lionhead Studios. They did all sorts of games. They did the movies, which I feel like, Brian, based on your background, you should love the movies.
Never heard of that.
You'd probably like it. The graphics are very dated because it came out in like 2005, but it's kind of just it's like a management simulator game slash with like a little bit of The Sims thrown in, where you manage a movie studio. And so, like, the management side's managing the movie studio, and then the sim side is like you manage your actors and actresses and like directors who are all have their own personalities and their divas and stuff. And then you can make movies within the game called the movies, and it's really cool. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, that was an incredible tangent.
Is it on Steam?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. We'll talk after the show.
If it is, I'll put it on my list. Okay, hold on. I muted my microphone so nobody heard that. The lungs are going. Okay. Anything else you guys want to look at on this proxy list?
I will say the Festering Honor
I got
Guard.
2.
Okay, I just got to that. And actually I was about to click on it, so why don't we just do that? Oh, yeah, nice.
That's like almost like
Pretty much.
one
That's
to
on
one.
point.
Good, because that would
Oh,
that would
yeah.
probably be one of my first purchases, actually. Because I want these. Okay, and what about Queen Maladrex? Anything?
Those have. There's a good one, but it's. I thought there's multiples for those. There must
Yeah, there's a
he got rid of
Bring
it.
up
'Cause there were multiples.
Bring up the
of
first
those.
one
Okay. let me
for
see
Queen
first.
Maladrex.
Oh, not bad.
That one by far is my favorite.
Yeah, not bad.
The
Granted, I
reverse,
thought
yeah.
the Queen's model was ugly to begin with, so
Mhm.
seeing
In
this
a
one
good
here,
way?
I love this one. No, I didn't like the I did not like the
Interesting.
Queen model.
Hmm.
No. That's like one of the models that the Age of Annihilation I just didn't like.
Hmm.
So
And
some
you
of these
weren't
more
honest
terrifying
about it?
Bug things.
I don't know. It's like for me,
things
it's
we
like
keep in our
bugs are
heads.
just always gross anyway. So like like
Yeah.
hideously
Yeah.
revolting giant bugs. I'm like, yeah, nope. That's
I mean, it was a
on
bulky
par.
Second
model.
one.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah, second
Mine
one.
if you
was-
watch it in the
Work by the
video, it's
pyramids.
huge.
and Zerg, and they all kind of have a bit of aesthetic to them, and the Queen did not fit into any of those aesthetics, so it's kind of like its own little thing. I'm like,
That's
See.
fair.
the
Here,
giant body,
tries
tiny
to-
head thing.
Okay,
always
the third.
bothered me
Okay,
too.
so one. Wait a minute. Etsy and my Minifigures, like both 2 and 3 are the same thing. Looked like. So
I've got
Very
one
suggestive.
for a not ugly, hideous, atrocious faction.
and this one's nothing. Okay.
The second link for Zenithrex, the Soul Weaver for the Dryan Lifeborn Order. Got to give the Dryan some love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks
Let me-
pretty steezy. Sorry, you guys are on the.
Okay,
Nemesis
I got to scroll
report.
down for that. Okay,
Oh,
it's a long
second
list.
one?
Like I said, it's gonna take you
Ooh,
It is
that
a
one
long
is
list.
kind of cool.
which is great.
Except
To
that
the second one.
shop is not for sale right now.
Which one is this now?
Oh yeah. You said the second link, Austin?
The second link for scroll down, scroll.
Soul
Oh wait,
Weaver.
I'm looking at the stream, which is behind. Yeah, Zenithrex, the Soul Reaver.
Okay,
That's
okay.
so
Second
cool.
link. Okay, that's
Yeah.
But it's so much money.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
that's.
Oh, whoa,
I mean, if you
yeah,
think about it,
wow.
that's cheap considered. That's cheap considered of the Gen Con
current-
models.
The current,
You
the
know,
current
like,
price
that's
of
what
But I
the
mean, that's
Yeah.
so
But-
sick.
Yeah, it is. It is
Mhm.
very nice.
Warhammer fans are, scoffing right now because $80 for a single huge model.
See, and yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that is a gorgeous model.
Yes, very nice. I Hunt Monster says I saw someone print one of Maladrex's Maladrexy, and it worked out better than expected on a peanut base.
Nice.
Ooh,
good.
the sorry, I'm on the dry end now because
Okay.
the Nemesis Warbrood is mid. The second link for Onshu, the Velkin Eye, is that is sick,
Where's
and
that
it's
at?
$9.
Where is that at? Sorry.
Second link.
No,
Let
no,
me
no.
double check to make sure. Okay, yeah, it's the second link.
Oh, that is a good one. What?
Yeah.
Where's that? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little lost.
No, you're totally fine. It's the second link for Onshu, the Welkin Eye.
On shoe. What group is that?
There's-
Sorry.
Dryan Lifeborn Order.
Okay, Dryan. Wait. I probably have to need to scroll up or down. Hold on a second.
Oh, the
Scroll down.
Three
Hold on a second,
seconds
hold on a
ago, it's scroll down.
Hold on a second.
Speaking to 3
There we-
seconds
there
in
we
the
go.
past, Ryan.
Alright, looking for it. Ah, there we are. Right? Onto the Welcome Eye? Right?
Yes.
That's what we said. Okay. Second. Here we
Second link.
are. Not bad. Not bad.
And what's nice too with these is that they all have different sizes, and that's like a
Yeah.
really good option because it's like obviously Anshu is a familiar and it's supposed to be quite small, so that's why okay, cool. We have a size. We can go to. I mean, even at the 28 millimeters, probably a little bit bigger than what we would want.
Or you can just ball out and get the 204 millimeter.
Just
think-
go.
I think the rule.
Well, we used the growth potion, and it's now much bigger.
Yeah.
The rule was all the Dryan wizards had command familiar, which allowed them to take a turn with a small or medium beast. So you'd probably want to stick to the smaller sizes if you're printing any of the familiars.
Or because rules are temporary, Riz is forever. So just get the 208 millimeter
Get the
model.
giant Anshu and just
Yeah,
be
dude.
like, ha!
Do
what
it
you
for the
gonna say now?
Riz.
We're learning
the
new
one-
words today, everybody.
So the one topic I wanted to bring up.
That one model you were looking at 3 seconds ago, Ryan, looked pretty steezy.
The Wraith Riders.
I believe it was I think it was the Necrotech Wraith Riders. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
those
Those
they-
look sick.
Yeah,
yeah,
that looks
not
really
bad. They're
good.
still a little snake-like, so they're not completely like on wheels. But
No,
it's
but
not
I
a
think
bad
that
proxy.
ability would work for something that slithers
Right.
up things.
Right.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
not being solid metal can't go up. too
It's not
crazy.
legs.
Right.
Yeah.
That would make no sense.
Right.
But
I was about to look at the
But since it-
Hellforge proxies that they have here too. Yeah, let me see. Let's look at these.
Whoever generate there's a
Interesting.
generated version of Scavrith that actually looks really on point. The
Or
Hero
which one?
Forge, Scavrith.
that one's okay.
Scavarith, the Lord of Ruin on Hero Forge.
Yeah, the one that someone generated. That actually like looking at what they had and looking what that version.
I mean, it's very, very accurate.
yeah, I was like, I didn't know you could do that in Hero Forge. Like I've been.
No,
missing
me
out.
neither.
Where's this?
I made
Yeah,
one
that's
character.
incredible.
I made one character in Hero Forge, and like I thought I did a good job, and I see that I'm like, wow, I'm definitely behind on my Hero Forge production.
Yeah.
But that to me also then begs the question when it comes to proxies, and I hope at some point there is a committee that comes together to decide on like, okay, how do we tell people what proxies to be official for?
Right.
Because a lot of the people in this community want to play with things that are official.
Mhm.
And so how do we go forward from this and say, okay, what models are allowed at competitions? Or of course you can't say, oh, what you can and cannot play at your own home, but
Right.
what is
Yeah,
dignified to
Tournament
be
play.
And
tournament play, and it's
and I think
at least
that-
for
yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
What?
No,
I was gonna say at least for my friends and I, like for me, it's like I'd like before I start playtesting, I would like to know, or at least find the closest we can. But with that said, even with how awesome the Scavrith from Hero Forge is, it's not double based. So where does that come to? It begs the question of
But
what is
Scavrith
the
wasn't a peanut, was it? Or-
Yeah, it was double based. So what is considered to be the intent of what the card and the abilities based on its shape and stance, because all of that mattered. I think the biggest loss for Age of Annihilation is the sculptors, those art people that design these characters. So I want to be able to be as faithful as possible for when we pick our proxies. There's a lot of really good ones. Like I said, the Festering Honor Guard look honestly top notch. The ones that are on Etsy are fantastic. They're super, and that's the other thing too. Cheap, price, availability. These are all things for even when they look into customs. I've been reading a little bit on how they pick customs and stuff, and so they look at availability, they look at price. As well as they were at the time looking at things that were painted, things that were already done, ready to go. Just like how, Avalon Hill was like, well, let's make a box that you can just pull out and play. They were doing the same thing. But like I said, I want to be as faithful as possible. And so where is that line being drawn? Like we looked at the Borealises, and of course they're not bears, but they're giant furry creatures holding giant rocket launchers. You know, they don't have spear things, spear cannons, but hey, that's the best we're gonna get for now, unless we can find a way to redesign it. But I think some of these designers on Etsy should, hey, they deserve my bucks because they're what I know of is a lot of them could be reprints from other games, but they could also be original designs as well. So
it sounds like you should be a member of the Proxy Posse. That is what I'm calling the committee for proxies.
I will agree 100% on that name. If it's not called that, I'd be very disappointed.
We'll make it threat in
But
Heroscape.
I have no
Hey,
authority on that.
Zuko here. You should call your official community for proxies the Proxy Posse.
That is an absolute 100% facts.
Yeah, I think we're still going through like a transitional period with these things. So I guess my question would be to the community is: are these going to end up being official C3V units with proxies that they're just okay? You choose this one for it as far as it being official, and how long will that transition take place? But the thing is, as well, if you have in your mind, okay, we're going to do this and make them C3V, what if Avalon Hill does something in the meantime, and then all of a sudden those don't matter? It's something that might be in the back of someone's head, but at the same time, you got like people like Dadscaper saying like no, like indicating go ahead. What's that say about things? So it's kind of like a limbo with these miniatures.
I don't think they would go into C3V at all. I think it would still stick into the Age of Annihilation banner.
Yeah.
It would be entirely it's a new category at this point. And it is on the website, a brand new category. They had to separate for a reason.
Right.
And I'm glad that they did, because one, it's easier to find. It's right on the front page of forums. It's, Age of Annihilation, they got the news, they got the figures, they got, it's all there.
I think that's also the most elegant solution for tournament play too, just having it be its own separate thing, because then if you're hosting a tournament, you can say official Heroscape units, you can say C3V allowed, C3C, the other one that I'm blanking on right now.
It's the same grouping.
C3G,
yeah.
there we go. And then, you could say Age of Annihilation allowed, or if you're throwing a tournament, no Age of Annihilation allowed. And then, at some point, to what Ryan was saying about how it's a transition, you get the Proxy Posse in to determine which proxies are tournament official, and, which aren't. And then, I think keeping it as a separate category rather than integrating to the C3V, I think that is,
makes sense,
by and large, the best option that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
I have monsters as go ahead, Jason.
Is there a reason? I guess is the reason why there has to be official proxies for tournament use is because Heroscape uses the outline of the character for determining line of sight?
Yes.
Everyone should have the same.
That and height and stuff like that.
So
you have to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just making a stupid joke.
Oh, I was gonna say because of the stance matters, and of course, majority. Because I was gonna bring a proxy to ScapeCon, and I can't think of it was for one of the Soulborgs, not Deathwalker, but can't think of his name. But I was gonna bring a proxy that we use, and I had sent them the picture, and it's like, well, the stance is a bit off, and I'm like, okay, no problem. But it's like, it's the height was the same. It was the colors, and of course the guns were pretty much the same thing. But it was just that one arm is usually supposed to be up, one's supposed to be down, and not both at the side, because the one that's up, it matters. It's on the card, So they look at that, and so that's where I feel like I hope soon, they can get a proxy posse together and start looking at the models and saying, okay, what. I'm figuring it out and saying, hey, you guys can use this model, and this model, or just this one model, and open it up and have probably their own, their own proxy, their own commit. At that point, their own committee, just like how C3V and SOV are separated. Because the C3G is like, that's all Marvel. That's all separated. That's a whole other game. That's not even. It's Heroscape, but it's like far on the end of the world.
That's this is a deep cut, but it's Pathfinder and Starfinder.
No.
Sorry, that's a very deep cut.
I got you.
Oh, I see. Because those games were.
Because Pathfinder and
Same-
Starfinder, they use kind of the same rules, but one is fantasy, the other is sci-fi.
Gotcha. Okay. No, absolutely. And then you have the C3V and SOV are in the same realm, but one is pushing out units. The Soldiers of Valhalla, they push out units on like a kind of not a conveyor belt, but like just they bring out units without the community's input. They're their own committee. They've decided what is good to move forward to bring you guys new units. And then the C3V is what brings in. We submit characters as the community and say, okay, now that's being voted on, to see what gets to become in the new line, the new I forgot how they phrase it, but
I know Ryan saw it, and I'm thinking it because I have a question related to it. And I'm just going to totally just steal your job here, Ryan, and let you rest your voice. Because I Hunt Monster said, if memory serves, current sentiment is the suggestions for C3V thread is very opposed to considering any part of AOA as canon, including the new generals, multi-life squads, etc. So they're probably unlikely to give AOA their blessing. I didn't know C3V was canon or considered canon.
It's custom canon. Like as
Custom.
far as I guess the best way to describe it is like because when they started making the characters or creating the units and stuff, they have a very solid what's a good hierarchical system? I don't know if that's the right term for it, but like there are some people like the ERB, right, and the editing board and stuff like that. Like I was asked to write the fiction for the C3V like back when it first came out, and when I was part of that group, it was really really cool. Like they were like, I was writing some fanfic back. This was years ago, right, mind you. I was writing some fanfic on the forums, and they thought it was good, and they're like, "Hey, you want to write for us too?" And I was like, "What?" Like I didn't like it was just so unexpected, but I got to see kind of like behind the process, and they have these like huge voting boards, and they go through every single detail, right, to the custom design, like the unit that's being used, the powers, right? They test everything. There's people that are play testing them constantly. So it's like as far as design goes and playtesting goes, all the C3V units have work done on them. Like there's been like severe, like a large amount of body of work done to get these characters out there. So it's called canon in the sense that you can play these characters and know they were designed well.
Right.
And I mean, I think they've Grunge Bob, so the previous designer, he said that he considered them some of the best customs ever made. I think Craig said they're some of the best customs he's gotten, like checked out. So I mean, they got some solid reviews too. So I think it's hard to like when we say canon, it's not in reference to like it wasn't released by Hasbro,
Right?
But it should be. Like I mean, so much work was done for that.
If you do some research on some of these characters and how they work, they're incredible.
So much. They did a good job. Yeah.
Because if you go check out right now, my favorite group of custom units are the Lawmen. They have done some. I got them as prizes from ScapeCon, and they're absolutely fantastic as an army. You take Guilty McCreech. You take hold on, let me pull up the army. Wait, I have the army. Hold on.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They actually went out of their way to design some sort of like synergy basis for the lawmen, because like the cowboys are cool, right? But you can't you when you draft them in your army, you can probably just draft like one. Otherwise, they're just going to be really like they're OM heavy and really difficult to maneuver because it's like they're separate entities in their own space. But yeah, they created a group that you can actually play them all and like kind of like synergize them. So super cool.
That's sick.
Plus, like Deadeye Dan is.
He should be a lawman.
Wait,
Isn't.
is he not? He isn't.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
What is he?
Nope. I wish he was.
crazy.
He would have fit in perfectly,
Right.
but he isn't.
I'm honestly shook at that he's not. I totally thought he was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he came in the set with the rest of them.
What is he
Yeah.
then? Is he an outlaw? Or
He's a
something?
sniper.
He's a sniper.
What? They had
Oh.
a sniper class, and I forgot.
Okay.
Whoa. Whoa! I didn't. I thought he's a sniper. Why did they make a specific sniper class? What was that? Were they gonna build on that, or like? I'm just lost now. I'm like, what? Like, new Heroscape information. Everybody, Deadeye Dan is not a lawman. Just found that out today.
That's fiasco, scandal.
I'm like, I'm trying to say, am I gaslighting myself? Like, I don't remember. I don't remember it being a sniper.
Gaslighting myself. That's so funny.
This is crazy. Whoa. Okay.
Oh, my mind's been
Like-
blown by Deadeye Dan.
Huge.
Let's sit.
tonight.
Huge
Let's sit
news.
on this. What?
Now, a question I have in my head too is like, come like ScapeCon next year,
Right.
will they allow AOA miniatures?
That's a good
At that
question.
point,
Definitely
I
up to
think
the
we'll have to
tournament.
see-
Definitely up to the tournament people who's going to be
Yeah.
running those events.
We will see
Yeah.
if they officially pick proxies or not. That's
Right.
that's the tough. That would
Right.
be the determination. Because even with C3V, like there are units that you say you can buy for these characters. So if there isn't anything definitive that the proxy posse could put together and say, okay, we accept this unit and this unit for this character for this card. Without that being said, then there really can't be any AOA specific game modes or events at ScapeCon or any tournament. I wouldn't want to run a tournament if I didn't know what cards and characters were going to show up. If you're going to bring a box of tissues and say this is my Scathereth, that really doesn't not going to fly. So it's.
So with the
And you-
official proxy, I was doing some research for all this, and I was looking at the list of the C3V units, and a lot of those old miniatures are either not available or stupidly expensive.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and that's a current. I know they're trying to discuss that right now because they're like, they released those designs at a time that those units were a lot more accessible. Now we're talking about like 12 years into current era, and it's like, yeah, we can't really access those anymore. Do we get new units? What do we want to do about that? Because we still want new players to enjoy C3V,
Yeah.
but if they can't get the units that were picked, it's like, shoot, what do we do?
I mean, that's the same thing that goes for the Gen Con exclusives, and some of those packs
Conversation.
that. I think it's the exact same conversation because there are official units, but they're so priced up the wazoo. It's like you can't barely get them, unless you're paying an arm and a leg. So
Are you going to 3D print it?
There was this. I remember I saw this YouTube video done by this YouTuber who occasionally makes Heroscape videos. Really good looking guy, very charismatic. Where he actually covers picking up some of these C3V units and the difficulties, that come about them. A lot of people commented roasting him when Age of Annihilation came out, saying that Heroscape is not dead forever. I mean, great.
That was the timing on that video is hilarious.
Oh, I know.
It was like what, a month before the announcement?
No, this was like 6 months before the.
Oh, 6 months announcement. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's called like is this the best way to get new Heroscape units? Kind of weird. Great thumbnail. Just very attractive guy. Just what a stud. And when I was watching it and I watched the behind the scenes that this person released, because it's definitely not me and I wouldn't know these behind the scenes facts. One of the units that I got, I'll just drop the ruse, that I got was it was released on C3V in like 2018, but like the unit itself, it was one of those, it came out in like 2006. And I'm like, ultimately it ended up being not too hard to get because eBay is amazing. But like, I was trying to look into it from not a non-eBay perspective, and it's like there was like one box left in the world of this unopened like D&D's miniatures box, and it costs like $300, and you don't even know if you're gonna get the unit you need.
Oof.
But yeah, eBay's your
I
friend.
remember
That's
that
some
video
love.
too. That was a while ago. But
I'm so proud of that. I'm still so proud of that video.
It's a solid one.
Yeah.
It's very helpful.
Thank you. I don't even know if it's helpful, but it's just slaps. Anyway, I'll get my head out of my buttocks. But to your point though, is that like a lot of those units, like that video was difficult to make because like what you were saying, like pretty much most of the C3V units are disqualified because the miniatures are just so hard to get and like so expensive at this point. Yeah.
And the
I
problem
wouldn't
you
say
run into is
most of
each
them.
the-
I would say some of them.
Okay, yeah, some of them. You're right.
What's it called? The Ragnarok miniatures. I know those are pretty difficult unless you're just lucky. You find
There was. So I had first heard about the C3V through Sir Heroscape when he did his video that was like just C3V. It was the only C3V battle, and I looked into his buddy's army because I wanted to pick some up because I thought they were dope. And yeah, those minis were like pretty expensive if I remember correctly. Pretty hard to get because they were like wave 3 or whatever of the C3V, and you know, current models in 2011.
Yeah, I mean that's what's gonna happen with time.
Oh yeah.
And so I mean, it absolutely opens up the question. It's like, you know, what do we do? You know, do we find new proxies? Do we find proxies for them, to make that option cheaper and more efficient, more available for other people?
Theoretically, though, now with like 3D printing, like
should be able,
theoretically that shouldn't be a problem anymore for future C3V releases, provided that they still choose to do it, which I hope they do.
Right.
Oh no, they're absolutely going to continue. That's for sure.
I can toss out an idea that'll probably drive everyone crazy, but this is how every other game in the planet has solved this problem with custom miniatures. Is no one uses the actual shape of the outline anymore for line of sight. They're standard size silhouettes. So you would have basically, based on the base size and height of the miniature, you have a standard area that figure occupies. And if you can see that area that the figure occupies, you can shoot at it. And there's 3D printed templates you would put behind the miniatures, and you use that for line of sight, which granted that's a core change rules of how Heroscape works, but now this opens up to allowing anybody to use any reasonable proxy they want for a given miniature. Because it doesn't matter if their arms are up or down, left or right, you're firing at a little box instead of how their arms are positioned. And this is what, and all the other games do this, because by having the standard size silhouette, you can now customize your miniatures different ways. You can make them laying on the ground, firing their rifle, kneeling, or you can make them jumping up in the air, getting ready to like do a downward strike or something. You get a lot more flexibility and customization.
Yeah, I think
that's a good idea.
I think that's
like
a great
that.
way of doing it. Yeah.
comment below
I think
on
the
YouTube
more accessible
if
it is.
If you want to give your thoughts on that question.
I Hunt Monsters agrees with you, Jason.
Yeah.
Does he? Well, that's good.
Yes, I love model agnostic systems. Modern Heroscape seems purpose built for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the more accessible we make these custom options, the easier it is to get new players into it. Because when we're like, you have to get this specific model, it's going to be a lot harder than, well, you can get any of these 7 to 10 models. It just has to be within this certain size range. Like that would be awesome, I think.
I Hunt
of
Monsters.
course,
I
it's
also
the
hope
theme.
they allow AOA attorneys, because I want to go to attorney with a Clockwork Combine army, wipe the floor with everyone, because Clockwork
I will
Combine are the
challenge you.
goats.
I'll challenge you with my Dawn Raider Syndicate, because I've been playing them pretty frequently, and I do find them to be very, very fun.
But the question is, how rizzy is this Dawn Raider Syndicate? Do
you
they have
seen
the riz?
The Admiral with his 4 guns and his grenades, and like
that's pretty rizzy.
yeah,
That's P riz.
he's so.
I got
cool.
my Admiral right here.
Would you
Yeah,
say?
he made
Jason
one.
said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sick. Jason's
video.
just coming in just with the set, with the Admiral, with the. What a legend!
Right.
We're in the presence of greatness.
I do the best I can.
I'm intimidated.
It's a pretty awesome figure he created for the Admiral. I gotta learn some kit bashing, because I've been hearing people talk about that, and the funny little phrase there, but like they can customize and make a character look the way it's supposed to by adding little like details. I'm like, that's man, we're so
So much fun.
innovative. It's
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things that's going to save us is the innovation within,
Mhm.
you know, not being backed by anybody really except just ourselves, the community, just doing whatever we can is
Right.
is one of the things that's going to pull us through. Yeah, and I think Age of
Yeah.
Annihilation, when it comes to tournaments, whether it be ScapeCon or others, I guess it just depends on who's doing the tournament really.
Who's in charge? Yeah.
Mhm.
And hopefully we'll get them in. I think they'll end up being more accepted as time goes on.
Yeah, and I hope too to bring to this next point is because Age of Annihilation was going to come in with unpainted figures. I hope that moving forward with the C3V and SOV, that we could go in that route as well, and find unpainted figures, 3D printed unpainted stuff to bring into the game, and
Especially-
it just opens up way more.
It really does, and it kind of feel like I get why they did it, but it feels kind of silly, like, you know, restricting yourself in that way. That's a no status U, not a 2U.
Yeah.
Because like C3V is already so DIY, like to begin with.
Mhm.
You know, of developing the proxies, you're printing out your own cards. Like, what more is just painting a mini? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're going through the trouble to get the proxy, print out the card, cut it out, rebase it, rebase the mini, which takes a lot of work. It's like you're already pretty invested in this. You're probably like, is painting a mini like that much more of a leap?
Right.
Someone's gonna see this and say yes, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And then,
But even so, that opens up a job for someone else to do that if you don't want to.
Mhm.
Which is really great because there are people that are incredibly willing and incredibly talented to do it. And if
Right.
people were willing to pay an arm and a leg for AOA and painted, then what is the stretch to say that they couldn't go out pay not an arm and a leg? Because I don't think those would want to charge an arm and a leg for you because they want you to play the game. They want you to play with these units, but charge a couple fingers to get it done and done right and the way you want. Because even Glenn told me, he's like, hey, when AOA comes out, when you get your cards, you have to think about like how you want these characters to be painted. And I'm like, well, I didn't think of that. I didn't went that far. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna paint all of them orange because that would be also a dream for me. But I want to be faithful to what the card designs are and the things, and like then I get to choose like hat, pants, shirt, shoes, how detailed. Then again, how long do I have to wait? Because this stuff takes time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a lot of options, and at some point I think it's just more overwhelming for people, which is probably why they saw detailed miniatures and they saw unpainted, and I thought, I don't have the time for that.
No.
And it's a lot of options, and I totally get that. It is a lot.
As our
Right.
resident person who confirmed has children, and a family, Ryan, do you think you have time for that?
I didn't have time to do things that I'm currently doing, but I still do them. It just depends. It depends on how motivated you are. I would say right away, though, no. There are better things for me to do. But at the same time, as the kids get older, then this is something you do with them, eventually. So that's one thing I look forward to. So, like I said, it just depends on what phase of your life you're in.
And I heard a lot of people, like, as I started kind of digging into it, coming to terms with the reality of learning how to paint, because I don't paint. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh goodness, I'm gonna buy this set, and then I'm gonna like do this thing where like I'm gonna have this like ugly line on one of the characters on accident, and everyone's gonna be like, what's that? I'm like, don't ask. Because it's just gonna be like this random mistake I made on accident.
It's not a bug; it's a feature.
Yeah, right. It's like it's
true.
it's just it's a very unique character that I'll make up some random lore to explain why there's a lion on his side.
Well, you see, when this character was 6 years old, they were of the mean streets of Feylund.
Right, but a lot of people said things like it's a what was the phrase they used? It's like therapeutic.
It is.
They were saying like when you
Dude.
paint, you get into it, you just zone into the moment.
So relaxing.
Yeah,
And
it is.
and that's what I was looking forward to. Like not even the painting, but like the idea of being able to just turn everything off and focus and do that.
You're gonna get so many targeted ads on your social media platform of choice from like Warhammer, like, "Hey, you want a nice relaxing hobby?"
Yeah, the bots hurt me. They're gonna start rolling now. No, but I was looking forward to that because I was like, man, that sounds kind of cool.
I mean, you can still do that though. Like,
right? No, I'm
oh,
not.
hey, I'm on Etsy.
Anymore.
There's 6 or 5 6 catatroopers that are sitting here that I can paint all of them.
No, definitely next year. I want to do some. I'm gonna have to start digging through those.
Jeremy's new addiction is he's just gonna buy random minis off of Etsy that don't even have anything to do with games he's playing, and he's just painting them.
Guys, look, it looks cool.
Looks
like,
pretty.
what is that? I don't
awesome.
actually know. I just bought it.
What's that for?
It was part
I've
of a
been
discount
eyeing
set.
a Big Daddy for the longest time from
Oh,
Bioshock.
the Bioshock, yeah.
Ooh. Nice.
I really want to make a custom for a Big Daddy. It'd be so fun.
That's
Do you watch?
so
Have you seen Goobertown Hobbies?
No.
Oh, he's the most wholesome dude on the face of the planet. He's a mini painter. His channel's about mini painting. They should have sent him Age of Annihilation. By the way, did you know HeroQuest had tiers?
I'm gonna drink something now.
I'm just kidding. But
Wait, what was the channel? I'm gonna look it up.
Goobertown Hobbies. Dude's the goat.
Goobertown.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's got 2 cats. And he just paints minis. He's like the most pleasant human being on the face of the planet.
So, like,
I forgot my point, but
it's like, oh, what's his name? Who was that famous painter? And I'm sorry if I forget his name. Come on, you paint on PBS, and you had the most calming voice.
Bob Ross?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
is he like the
Yes.
Bob Ross of miniature work?
His voice isn't as
People
soothing,
call him that.
but
actually.
he is very like he's just got the chillest vibes on the face of the planet. And like my favorite videos of his are where he'll like, and so I guess the reason why I came here is because like, or to this point is like he doesn't really paint for like, well, I guess now he paints for his YouTube channel, but he just paints for the joy of painting.
Sure.
And like my favorite videos of his are where he'll like pull a mini out, like a random mini out of a bag, and then like he'll like roll a dice to figure out like what color scheme to give it, and he just paints it. Like that's so sick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Now it's Bob.
And, I mean, I painted like some of my terrain, 3D printed terrain pieces for Tales of Valhalla, and doing that, I mean, it was just basic, simple stuff, but it was so fun sometimes. Like I had to have crystals. I'm like, ooh, what color am I going to paint this? And yeah, and you can like either like do it silently or listen to a podcast, while doing it or whatever. It's if you got the time, yeah.
I watched Naruto while doing it.
Solid.
Yeah.
nice.
It takes forever to watch it, so yep.
There's only
lot of
900 episodes. Yeah.
Tiny anime, you know.
And then when I finish Naruto, I'll just do One Piece.
Do what? There's your sizable material.
For the
He's stuck
longest
on
time.
the same episode for 5 days.
So you guys didn't hear this, and the people who watch this didn't hear this, but whenever someone tells me to like watch a show and I have zero intention of ever watching it, I just say, yeah, I'll just watch it when I finish One Piece.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one. I like
Yeah.
that
Like, oh, what episode of One Piece are you on? I'm like, 14. Oh, aren't there like 1,000 episodes? There's
one. Yeah, see,
1,040.
they definitely they'll back off there. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
good luck. You know.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
I really am on episode 14. I can't get through the Usopp arc because Usopp is the most annoying character on the face of the planet. Anyway, that's a deep cut. Ryan clearly watches One Piece. He knows what I'm talking about based on that laugh.
I've been that far, yes.
Okay. Usopp
I think
sucks.
we've all been that far because
Another thing that's on my list.
Oh yeah, the list. Yeah.
The perpetual list. The thing about
The list he'll never get
Naruto,
through after he finishes One Piece.
Naruto edits on TikTok look so freaking cool, but like the show is paced so horribly that I just can't. Like I want to get to the cool stuff, but you got to watch the other stuff to get to the cool stuff. And like
And then
it's
fillers.
like 90.
And,
Yeah, like
and then
95%.
flashbacks.
95% of the show is horrible, but like that 5%. Like I'm 20 episodes into Naruto. Like the scene when they're fighting the one guy and they do the like he throws the shuriken, but it's actually Naruto disguised as the shuriken. And he like,
Oh yeah.
I
know
know.
what you're talking about.
so
Why
sick.
not? already
You're
know
talking about
that.
Zabuza, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Zabuza. Zabuza's sick.
Although,
I mean he dies, but
have you watched and these were? And I'm sorry, we're getting totally off.
also
But
Rock.
anybody
the
who's
Rock,
listening now is already tuned out, so we can just talk. Okay.
the Rock Lee
Dracula
Gara
podcast?
fight is goated. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Oh, when he drops the weights.
Yeah.
Naruto
Every time.
Abridged. Have you watched Naruto Abridged? And
I've
this
heard-
is something these guys made like it was like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. And they
Yeah.
only got as far as I think when Sasuke was turning to the dark side or whatever.
Dude, spoilers. No, I'm just kidding.
And
I've looked up the plot.
but
summary
that's
on
as
Wikipedia,
far
like,
as
a million
it's
times.
as far as they went. But it's some hilarious stuff. Oh my goodness, they did a good job with that.
They do a number. I think I know who you're talking about. They do a number of anime, if I remember correctly.
They did. I don't know what they're doing currently, because they totally just like axed. I mean, it seemed like they were going to restart, and then not, and then do it, but they never did. So, but anyway, it's still good for what they did. Absolutely.
So, if there was a Heroscape anime, who would Bryce Pappenflos, aka the English voice actor of Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, aka Meliodas from Sword Art Online, who do you think he would play?
I don't know. I would have to listen to that voice because
One of the airborne elite, like just
Yeah. Okay, that works.
yeah.
Which one though? Because the airborne elite voices I have. So which one?
Right.
Tell me, then I probably have a better idea.
I don't. I'm vibing with Henderson, like he played
Okay.
the Henderson model.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's a lot of thought. I'm just gonna sit there and start thinking these out. Who's gonna play these characters?
But if it's an
One day.
English sounding voice, would it be better played by maybe like Sir Gilbert or like maybe like the Colonial Infantry, 4th Massachusetts Line or something?
Is he British?
No, he's not.
Oh, I
He's
thought you
Yeah,
said,
I was like, I
I thought you
don't-
said
I don't
English
remember he's
accent.
British.
So, or are you
no,
talking about
the
are you talking
English, the English voice actor, the voice actor
Ah,
who speaks
gotcha. Okay,
English,
I
the
thought
language
I
that
thought you
we are
meant
speaking.
England English. Okay, I
No.
was. I was
What did he
thinking-
do in
thinking
Sword
too
Art?
hard.
He was Meliodas.
Why does that name not sound familiar for me?
He's like the main character.
Yeah.
Now I gotta watch these things. Okay, another thing
Oh,
on my
yeah.
list.
Wait, have you seen Attack on Titan?
No.
It is on my list. I know. I've
I
heard a lot
tried
of
watching-
great things about it.
and-
I've heard a lot of great things
Awesome.
about it.
I tried watching the first episode and I had a hard time. I think because it's probably I probably have to watch episode 2. Episode 1 probably strides from the whole the concept episode. It just throws a lot at you, and I probably just have to skip to the second episode because there are a lot of shows that I used to watch. Tried watching the first episode, couldn't. Skipped to the second episode, and I was in.
It's so good.
Okay,
So
this tells me that we've run out of things to talk about Heroscape. So how about we go to comments from the last ToV podcast?
What
And
Attack on
Yeah.
Titan proxies do you think would work well with C3V?
Oh no.
anything the size of Galactus would be great.
That's insane. Like,
Dude, give me
get that on the board and just like, all right, I'm playing one.
I was about to say, any
character.
final thoughts?
Titan.
About
Give me a Levi.
what we're talking about.
Just goaded.
Nice.
There was a properly scaled Galaxis HeroClix miniature, which is a very similar scale to Heroscape. So C3V could use that miniature. It probably costs like $1,000 now, but it might be out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of games with hero in the title, did you know HeroQuest had tiers?
Did you know
determined to
HasLab
make
had
that
a
a meme.
$500 Galactus you could buy?
Oh, really? No way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And it's like,
Oh, I've seen
right?
Maluri. I'm sorry.
Marion.
I have
Yeah.
seen. I have seen Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer
Look
slaps.
at that.
Yeah, you must watch Demon Slayer and
It's
Record of
$60 for
Ragnarok.
the HeroClix Galactus.
Dude, what's his face is the epitome of the annoying character that's like low key kind of flames. Zenitsu.
Oh god.
Oh, is he the one that
Zenitsu's so
cries?
annoying, but when he's asleep,
So
he is
annoying. But then
Yeah,
he's super cool, right?
Well,
Then
he's-
you're like,
yeah,
you get mad because like I don't want to like you. I really don't want to like you.
yeah.
Really. And then he just does something cool, and you're like, stop it. Like,
And then he falls asleep and he's just cold AF, and then you're like, bro, this guy is the guy. He's just shooting
Oh my
lightning.
goodness,
Like he's
I've
got
lost
one move, but he
control
does
of my
it so
podcast.
good.
I have lost control of my podcast, and I blame it
Okay,
on my
I'm
lungs.
sorry.
I
Tell
blame
us,
it on my
tell
lungs.
us, who was asking the coolest question from last time?
Actually, there's not many comments from
Okay.
last live stream.
Okay.
What?
Mostly
one
because.
last little thing I need to correct myself on.
Go ahead, Jason.
There you
Apparently,
go.
no one wants the Galactus HeroClix miniature, and it's all over eBay for like $60 to $100.
Ah.
That is all. I'm
That's
done.
Easy.
hilarious. So clearly, people were just buying it for the sole purpose of reselling. That's what that tells
Probably.
me.
Everybody's
Yep.
trying to sell it now. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna say this at the end too. Since I am streaming directly to YouTube now on the Tales of Annihilation YouTube channel, you're not gonna see. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, if you go to Tales of Annihilation YouTube channel, you're not gonna see the video of this live stream on the video tab. You're gonna have to go to the live tab in order to see, because that's where it is. I think there's a transition where you can do it, but I figured it out. That I didn't figure it out, but it's just easier just to leave it on the live tab, so that way they're kind of separate from everything. So just so you know, for that, I'll mention it again before we close the stream as well. But yes, comments from are basically weeping and crying from the last podcast that we had. Is let's see here. I got Kaitsuki says, totally not mind shackled, talking about Joe there.
yeah, Joe. As you're wearing the Nigoxa shirt. Man,
Totally not mind check.
I knew
That's
this.
gonna have to be a t-shirt probably sometime down the line. That's
absolutely
that's
like
Honestly,
when
can we
he
get-
drops that arc, when he reveals that he was mind shackled all along, I'm just gonna be like, look, that's why you listen to me. I knew it.
Can we get this exact shirt, but then with the 20 on the back? That'd be awesome. Thanks.
You
Yeah.
sure you don't play Dungeons and Dragons?
I actually do.
Oh
I
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You jump and ship?
What?
You jump and ship?
No.
You should. Anyway.
Amazing.
Next comment. Thank you, Kaitsuki, for the comment. Leaving Cleef.
That was me trying to write the ship for Ryan. Okay, I'm sorry.
Leaving. I'm sorry. My lungs are just awful. Leaving Cleef says, "Great podcast. Listened while working. Love the discussion, and thank you for listening while working." Leaving Cleef, and yes, thank you for your comment. I think it was the first time Leaving Cleef commented. And then we have.
I want to know how that person's gonna feel when they go to work and finally listen to that and go. Like, I want to know what that feels like. I want to know. Like, listen to your favorite podcast, and just all of a sudden, your name is being heard.
for
I
this
want to know
one.
what that's like.
Yeah. Well,
That's
you
a
know,
pretty cool
that-
vibe.
that's
I
why
will say.
I do them. I want to shout out to people who give the comments. And then Tim Crown says, "Forgot about the Discord. Yeah, how many posts on Heroscape Facebook were people reposting? Because I can't talk today, because not many are in Discord. Way to narrow your focus. Good grief." And I think that was us discussing
The marketing.
the communication kind of like separation between Discord and Facebook, and like people on Facebook didn't want to go on Discord, and there was that whole drama thing. But yeah,
Let's see you for reading the negative comments. That's baller.
it was just that, and that's the last comment. So I mean, yeah, I don't know if that was negative, concerned, or just outright just hatred. I don't know, but
Did you not see the comment, the other comment that was it's showing up on my end? It says that, do you think that this would have succeeded had the minis come painted? I think that's a discussion item that hasn't really been brought up before.
is that comment on there? Or are you just pulling my
He's
leg?
on.
I'm
He's
sorry,
trolling.
my head's off.
Premium trolling.
Okay.
It's
He's
premium
just-
trolling.
There's a
It's-
gas.
I feel like
Let's just go with
there's-
that. Okay.
Aye. I'm not
Someone
one's leg
left
to
the
be
oven
pulled
on.
tonight. I'm
That
just,
was-
my
The
lungs
oven
are
on,
what's
that's
leading this
clever.
podcast currently, and
That's
it's not good.
hysterical.
amazing.
He said someone left the oven on. That is incredible.
Someone left the episode. All right.
Why isn't anyone talking about the fact that the new models have just deviated too much from Classic Escape?
Now we're trolling
how do
on this
you
podcast.
sleep at night
This
with
is-
all
this
this
is
knowledge
things
built in your head?
Yeah, it's,
Right.
Just
You
it
gotta
probably
let
just
it
like
out.
rings back and forth.
gotta
Right?
let it out.
Yeah,
See,
these
this is why we need
conversations that have never been had before.
Austin. This
Hey,
is why we have you
Someone
on
should
now.
buy the Heroscape license.
So next year it's not coming out then, or
Oh,
at
it
that
will.
time. Oh yeah, probably.
It will. When we
It's
least
happening.
expect it.
Anyway, that is the comments from people last time, and for this, if you want to leave your comment, like I said, go to YouTube, go to the live section, not the video section, because you're not going to find the video portion of the podcast on YouTube. On the videos, go to the live tab and find us there, please. And with that, what do I gotta say? I think it's time we wrap up, and I really do need to wrap up because I don't even think I'm 50%, to be perfectly honest.
The fact that you made it this far feeling that the way that you do is just, it's a testament. Once again, we're in the presence of legends.
I've dealt with way worse pain. So
We've got Jason's sick setup. We've got Ryan just fighting through the pain, just to deliver us content unto the people. Like legends.
it's just content. It's not like this is stellar stuff, but at least not from my part. You guys,
Lives are being
different
saved.
story.
Excuse you.
Minds are being altered, not changed, but altered.
That sounds like a mind shadow.
Wait.
Roll a 20. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna
Our
make.
favorite segment?
17.
Nice. You actually rolled the 20.
Oh, dude,
All right.
I've got a whole dice bag like right here.
Nice.
All right, we'll give final thoughts on the Heroscape proxies. Nothing else. And let's go to Mr. Joe Crazy first.
Okay, so it's not probably proxies, but I never got to show off my favorite army of the C3V. The lawmen.
I'll allow
So I
it.
have to say that. I have
I'll
to use my
allow it.
time for the lawmen.
Let's
I'll
go.
allow
I'll
it.
allow it.
So
Oh, that's
if you
great.
go out there, the official units are the James Murphy, Johnny Shotgun Sullivan, and Guilty McCreech.
Not
So if
Dead
you
Eye
got
Dan.
them,
We learned that today.
not Dead Eye
Not
Dan.
Dead Eye Dan.
Because I will say, for 360 points, you get James Murphy, Johnny Shotgun Sullivan, Guilty McCreech, and this goes into the C3V units, Clayton Pierce, Lewis Mad Dog Malone,
Mad Dog
and,
Malone.
Nice.
and the last one is Kate. Where's that card? Kate. Where's Katie at? Well, Katie is the last one. And they are at a beast army. So go check them out, please. They're our fantastic army. Beautiful. Yeah, so final thoughts. Yeah. Honestly, I hope the community can work together. I think we all can work together to get these units. They're proxies, so we can start play test. I mean, I'm gonna play test them anyway, but I personally would rather see them get some kind of official stance on like what units you're allowed to bring to tournaments, so I can say, okay, this is what I'm gonna buy, just so I'm not buying all these units and then gotta go buy a whole nother set just so I can bring them to different venues to play with other people. And I hope for the C3V it opens up the door for unpainted minis. Just more options for everybody to play. Brand new units. I want to see it all come together.
So it sounds like you're trying to prompt the proxy posse.
Proxy Posse. We need Proxy Posse shirts.
We got Joe Gordon over here turning on the proxy posse light that's just beaming into the into the sky.
Nice.
Yeah, but with that said, I am currently working on getting my ScapeCon footage out. 14 hours, 24 games. So if you did play with me at ScapeCon, please reach out to me because I want to talk to you over the game. Let's go talk about the game that we played. I'm going to be scheduling, scheduling you time so we can record our game together, so I can get them out on timely matter. So if you want to watch that video, let's go record it. And also, I'll be streaming Monday nights. So tomorrow night, same time actually, 9:30 p.m. EST. I'll be streaming. I don't know exactly what game or what thing. I think I might be doing some Heroscape research on the customs. So if you want to stop by, please tune in on Twitch, JoeCrazy3193. And also, this is every Monday, by the way. Every Monday I'll be streaming at 9:30 p.m. And every Thursday I'll be streaming at 10:30 a.m. EST. So please tune in and check out what game I'm playing, what research I'm doing, because I'll be doing research for future videos as well. So that is my current plans, and otherwise, weekly videos. I'm committed. Weekly videos, guys. So come on by, click the buttons, and thank you, Ryan. I yield my time. I'm not crazy. I'm Joe Crazy. Thank you.
Did you know that Joe is actually a coffee snob? Because he's always on his grind.
Hey.
Yeah, I
that is
drank
not a
coffee.
Heroscape pickup line. Sorry.
I already gave you, sir. I already gave you a Heroscape pickup.
I
It
need
was a
more.
banger.
Give me
It was
more.
a banger.
It's not gonna,
Amazing.
not gonna pass. Not gonna pass on me. Okay,
Did
so
I
to
just roll a
rip
20?
this Band-Aid off, Austin, go ahead and go next.
That's funny. What do I say? The proxies look dope. Clockwork Combine, goated, of course, naturally. I'm like really tempted. So like, I need to be saving money, but like, this Knight Primus Adelburn like model
Those
like
look
on
really
Etsy.
good.
These the Cata Troopers on Etsy like. Technically, I make money on my channel, so theoretically, if I buy this, is that a tax write-off? Am I admitting to committing tax fraud on, live TV?
You have to make a video with the characters you buy.
Which I might do.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, then
know,
it's a tax
if
write-off.
that means I can write off my taxes, like
as long as there's a production thing from it, then yeah. I think
I'm
it should be.
very tempted because these look
I promise
absolutely
you,
sick.
people write off worse things. You're good.
That's true. People write off private jets.
So you're
Yeah.
perfectly fine. This
Yeah.
miniature is gonna, sir, you're gonna have to pay us all this in tax.
Yeah, the IRS is just gonna
IRS
like
just comes
come
after you for
crashing through my
miniatures,
window.
like-
Just you deducted $8.42 for
About to
this
say.
miniature. Get on the ground.
Give us $6 now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. Waste $10,000 on the operation for $16 of
Hey,
tax
well, they
fraud.
got their guns. They want to use them, so.
That's true. Based. But yeah, once again, the fact that these proxies were even found, just the Heroscape community continues to the good sides of the Heroscape community continue to impress me. Daily. I haven't been doing Heroscape videos. I explained why in the beginning, but in the new year, I want to get back on it. Faux show. Got some projects in the mix. If you're into role-playing games, kind of. I'm taking a hiatus for the holidays because I want to do something special for my Druid video. But I'm doing a history of all the RPG classes, like the real-life history. The cleric video is tech. Wait, what was that?
Those are awesome, by the way.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, Ryan.
No, I broke it.
You get
I'm
one
so
swear
sorry.
word, and that was it.
You
Okay.
get one.
Everybody gets one.
At the very end.
No, like I
Sorry.
love that kind of stuff. I love that meta
barely audible.
history stuff, style videos. So you're doing. a
Yeah,
really good job.
I really enjoyed making them, or enjoy making them. So I want to do something cool for the Druid one, but currently covering the fiasco going on with, in the process of sort of covering the fiasco that's going on with Wizards of the Coast,
So fun.
doing what they do, Hasbro doing Hasbro things, and ruining
every franchise they own. At this
every
point.
franchise they own. They die or just died because they're like, should we focus on making a long-term brand that will yield us fruit for years to come and cultivate a loyal fan? Let's screw that over and focus on short-term profits, and pleasing shareholders. So, doing a little something with that.
So fun.
But yeah, there is a serious. I might buy these Cata Troopers like right now and just like paint them on video or something. I don't know. I'm not a painter or YouTuber, but I'll shut up. This was fun. Thanks for having me on again, even though I just derail things. And by the way, how is nobody talking about the fact that if they just marketed Age of Annihilation a little bit better, I think it really would have succeeded. Nobody's talking about this. I yield.
Like I said, we needed to rip that Band-Aid off. We got it, so we're good. Thank you, Austin, sir,
Rip the
for coming
Band-Aid
on, though,
off.
for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, we enjoy it immensely, so thank you. And I'm serious. Jeremy, go ahead.
Oh, that's awesome.
real
I'm gonna clip
quick,
that and just play it on loop. Ryan said he enjoys me having on his show. Anyway, sorry.
You're good. There was a comment on the stream that I thought it just dropped. It's kind of funny. Is that Hasbro's the EA of video games?
Gimli the Giant. Yep.
Like,
Shout
or
out
board
to
games.
Gimli the
So
Giant.
Hasbro's
Bro,
the EA of board games.
They
and I'm like,
really are.
that's messed up, but definitely on point. So I'm like, yeah, it's not good business decisions. I think it's like I actually fun little fact. I bought a little bit into Hasbro stock because I have this like secret plan where I'm gonna like become a shareholder very slowly, and then the next time they do a big old vote, I'm just be like, what about Heroscape? Like I'm gonna be that one annoying shareholder that brings it up in the shareholder meeting, and they're
You're gonna be the dude. Do you remember the Robin Hood commercials where it's like, you know, you're gonna be like the dude in the hammock, and they're gonna be like, "Who's this?" And you're gonna be like, "Oh, Jeremy, I own 1 share."
I own 1 share of Hasbro, and I want Heroscape back. Like it's all going down anyway, you know. Like, come on, guys. Like,
This is not financial advice, but the financial
no,
advice is
absolutely
to
don't
short
listen.
Hasbro. That's what the people on the internets are saying. If you short it, this is not financial advice, but that is theoretically.
yeah. I mean, shoot.
You have a theoretical degree in financing?
I do have a theoretical degree in finance.
Good, okay.
Nice.
What's that line from Fallout New Vegas? You would know this, Joe.
It was right from the beginning?
It's
That
like
one?
no, it's
Right from the start?
they asked me if I had a degree in theoretical physics. I said I had a theoretical degree in physics or something like that.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, as far as the customs go, good work, everybody. Good work to the community members for finding those. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like I saw the thread go up, and then I went to work, and then I finished my shift, and when I loaded back into that thread, there was already like 10, 20 characters picked out, and I was just like, I don't have to do a thing. Like I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm just like, I am, you know, experiencing this in proc. You know, I am the proxy. I'm witnessing this and like in real time, and it's just it's fantastic. You know, the books that are being done are really good. I actually, and I know I brought this up before, but since I've been going to my local game store and hosting Heroscape games there, and finding the cool, like the most random moments where people will walk up to me as I have this board set up, and they're like, "Is that Heroscape?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it absolutely is." And they're like, "I used to play this as a kid. Can I play?" And it's such a cool experience, right? And yeah, I've been playing the Admiral specifically. So with the Dawn Raiders, I've been playing the Admiral and using like, I don't have the characters right now, but I do have a goal, at least by next year, to have a fully printed Dawn Raider army, so that way I can actually present that in a really cool way, and then of course explain to the players there, be like, yeah, so this is what we're doing right now. We're printing out these characters, and then using them to play these cards that we were given, since we weren't able to get the set funded, and kind of explain that. But it's been really, really cool so far, just playing the characters by themselves, right? So I'm super excited to bring out some of these proxies, and you know, obviously I've thought of stuff I could do for my channel about it. Of course I would want to show that off, and then, you know, if you are responsible for finding those links, I'll probably mention you in the video and be like, hey, thanks to so and so, I have this proxy now, check it out on the board, and you know, we'll just like boom, you know, something like that. But no, it's exciting to see. I mean, in its own way, right? Like we've gotten used to the customs environment, but it's just cool to still have new Heroscape. Like it's still cool to see this rolling forward even now with the effort that's being done. So yeah, I just really want to put it out there. Good work, everybody. You know, thank you, Anatar. Thank you, Vidar, Chaz, all of you. all you putting all that work in there. You're doing great. So
It's
appreciate
kind
you.
of weird being like a here like as a fan of Heroscape who became an adult after it
Yeah, right.
ended.
Yeah.
It's like customs is kind of like all we know. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's
like
the
there
whole
was a brief
history.
flash of time when it was in stores, but like at the end of the day, it's like nothing really changed for us. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
No. It like we were used to this, so it's like, yeah, let's just adapt these new characters as more customs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I'm actually kind of doing the same. I haven't really done much content as of late due to the holidays. I'm actually going to be leaving Christmas, and I'm going across the great United States. We're flying across to go visit, and I'm going to be gone doing that. So don't expect too much activity from my channel. But yes, the lore videos are still on the way. I did promise to make them. Yes, I do have them.
I'll hold you
in
accountable.
design, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna give up on that project, but I do have plans to finish those when I get back, and basically teach everybody the history of the story of Heroscape and the stuff that was kind of hidden. I did feel very bad at the amount of people in the Discord that were like, "There's lore," and I was like, so, like I was the fiction writer for C3V. Like, yes, I got you. Like, I will tell you what you need to know. And so I decided to make some shorts to explain the lore of Heroscape, and had to put that on pause because of the holidays. And the best thing I can tell you, it's like the work at my job has gotten crazier, and then I come home and I just pass out. And, it's just crazy. So it's like eventually when that slows down, then I'll have more time to myself to finish those videos. But they're not gone. They will just be at a later. So promise I will finish them. I say that, and then come back March, for June. You'll be like, "Where's the lore videos?" I was like, "No, I'm kidding. I won't do that." But I will.
When the new Heroscape drops in like 2056, if that ever happens,
where
like,
the
But it was
lore
hey, Jeremy.
videos?
You're changing the. You're already delaying it again.
Well, soon, trademark.
Soon TM. Soon
Holiday,
TM.
right? Holiday season. It'll come out holiday
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
It will
right,
come out
yeah.
some holiday.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's all my stuff. I'm Crow Toner Jeremy of the Eslam Collate. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube. I don't know about Twitter right now. We'll figure that out eventually. There's a lot of stuff going on Twitter right now. But you can type my channel name into a search engine, and you should be able to find your favorite platform of choice, hopefully, and I will be there. So I'll see you there, and ask me any lore questions. I got you.
Thank you, sir.
What beach was Sergeant Drake Alexander supposed to land on?
He wasn't at the beach. He was actually at the Ardennes. So
Wait, hold up.
yeah, yep.
Wait.
They got him in the Ardennes.
Okay, but
I
that
thought-
wasn't a thing in the Second World War, was it?
Well,
The
wait, I
Ardennes
thought
was
he
World War One.
No, Ardennes is World War II. Well, there's some fighting World War One, but mainly World War II. As we think of Ardennes, is the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
That was well
Oh, that was
after
in the
Normandy,
Ardennes?
though. I thought
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sergeant Alexander was like 3 days after Normandy.
So that's the funny.
So
It
much confusion.
I think it depends on either the comic or the webisode, whichever one you're
Okay.
using. In the
That's
webisode, it was
so-
the Ardennes.
Normandy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like Tales of
I gotta look it
Valhalla's
up.
lore. Let's put it that way, okay? I like how I spin things.
It's the only lore that really counts.
Dad, dang it. My
Dang
lungs
it.
are bursting, so yes, that's right. All right, Jason, go ahead.
All right. So yeah, there was a Battle of Ardennes in the First World War. So because it's the border of France and Germany, that
Yeah.
was kind of both wars. So
Yeah, I played Battlefield 1.
some of the content in those games.
There's nothing. I remember I was playing Battlefield 1 one time, and I was like, "Wow, World War One's sick." And then I was like, my great granduncle would, who fought in World War One, would be very upset that I said that. He fought for the Central Powers. He was Austrian.
Oh.
I love telling people that.
Nice.
Anyway,
Nothing.
Jason's
Nothing.
Jason,
Yeah. Anyway, so I
Please.
guess my final thoughts on the proxies. I guess we'll see how things play out. I've already got one of mine created over my YouTube channel, Rocket Robotics. I took some Warhammer 40k bits and built an Admiral, mostly out of Necrons. And as a YouTube note, it turns out when you name drop 40K stuff in the video, YouTube shows it to 40K players who have no interest in watching a video about building Heroscape stuff.
That's very true.
Oops. That's stupid YouTube AI for you.
Done it
But
before.
check out. Also, if you do make some gun jokes in that video as well, it shows it to gun people who have no interest in watching Heroscape stuff as well.
That's what's up.
Wasn't a very well-performing video in terms of percentage viewed, but I've learned my lesson not to do those kind of things anymore. But if you want to check those things out, it's over at Rocker Robotics on YouTube or tabletopbattlefield.com, and you're into Space Combat, Legends of Caladagia, my Space Combat miniatures game, is over at EmpireUnderSiege.com.
All right.
That's what I got for you, Ryan.
Thank you, Jason. And yeah, thanks all you guys. Links, YouTube links should already be in the description below for these guys. So go ahead and check them out if you're watching this on YouTube. And so I guess I will close this as best I can. There are some housekeeping things before we close out this new year. I mean, of course, I'm Ryan, Tales of Valhalla. Mainly I do a stop-motion series based on the board game Heroscape. And we're currently
Is it
working...
a board game, though?
That's what I say. It's now ingrained in my head. That's the line I give. But
Hasbro knows a legal answer to that, but they're not going to say what it is because it's in a unsealed, non-court legal decision thing going on. There's a whole lawsuit over that, in case you're curious.
okay, maybe I should say based on the war game Heroscape. I don't know. It's a damn game. Okay, there's my word for this.
I wasn't ready for that. My ears hurt.
Someone should put out a video. Tales of Valhalla canceled with like the thumbnail faces like, and you know
My lungs
question
are
mark,
about
question
to
mark,
burst,
question mark.
though. Okay.
An unflattering photo of Ryan.
There's plenty of them out there.
He calls Heroscape a board game, but we all know it's a war game.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm 40. I can do that now. So
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that the marker?
I think so. You're over the hill. You can do whatever the heck you want, I guess.
I thought over the hill was 50. Wait,
That's 40.
have I been getting it wrong? Oh god.
You're on the
I
Z.
throw out my-
You're on the top. It's just downhill from here. So
I don't know,
Anyway,
dude.
I just have a meltdown right now.
I tweaked my back tying my shoe, and I'm 27.
I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Like it hurt really bad, and I just bent over to tie my shoe.
I can tell so many stories, but
Welcome to
I
age.
am going to say that I am currently working on season 3, so we got 2 seasons already out there. Literally hours and hours worth of stop motion content from the characters from Heroscape on the channel, and I'm working on the last 3 episodes of season 3. It's going to be a epic final for these, and editing currently all 3 at once, and I do live stream my editing, which I'll still continue doing up until the end of the year into next year. So go ahead and check me out on Sundays and Wednesdays when I'm doing those. And the ToV podcast, we will have our next live recording on January 8th next year, where we'll talk about something. More than likely, we're going to dive into some lore with Thorman's journals. So be there for that at the very least. So January 8th, same bat time, same bat channel. And so check us out there.
Ryan, is it true that you write the scripts of your Tales of Valhalla episodes the day that you drop them on the internet?
No.
You do no
Seasons 2
zero
and-
pre-production whatsoever?
Seasons 2 and 3 took me about 2 years. So,
You sure about it?
and season 1 took me about a year to write the script. So, yeah.
That is respectable grind.
Yeah. And so here,
Man's a
let me
legend.
just collect myself here.
You know, they call Tales of Valhalla the Kobe Bryant of Heroscape content
I
creators
sure as
because
hell
of his
hope
work
they do.
ethic.
There's my second swear word. All right. Now,
You get
see, I'm
two?
over
Wait.
swear
Please
words
don't
now.
ride in any private helicopters. Too soon? All right.
I'm sorry, I
Jesus
can't
Christ.
laugh. I can't laugh, and my voice is breaking up.
It's pretty messed up.
Hi. So for the podcast though, ToV podcast, there are some still things. If you're listening to this on the podcast audio sphere, I don't know how, because currently I'm just in limbo between a Sounder, which is closing, and actually I thought I found a place, but it turns out it being sour, I'm going to cancel that, and so I'm still looking for a new home for the ToV podcast. If you have any suggestions, that's free. And that works as good as Sounder. Please let me know, and I might look that up. But currently in that transition, hopefully January 8th I will find something, and so that will work for us for the foreseeable future, because I do want this podcast to grow and keep on growing the audience for that. But so that is one of the struggles I have right now. Let's see here. What else do I got to say? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and I just hope everybody has a great holiday season. Whatever you're celebrating, or even if you don't celebrate, just take some time just to pat yourself on the back and say, "Hey, we're here for another year into next year." Set up your goals, set up whatever you want to do with your life. It could be something not even close to miniature wargaming. It could be just patting someone on the back. How about that? But just do you and do whatever you want to do well. And I applaud you for it, as long as it's a positive thing. Legal, moral, and ethical. Do it.
If your
Anyway.
goal for the new year is to derail more of Ryan's podcasts. Anyway, so dude, the
Hey, I
Rock
love
Lee
it.
Gara fight, dude, when he takes the weights off his
You
legs.
just see him disappear. He gets kicked. Like,
Yeah, and next time I have you on, Austin, though, my lungs need to be better for sure, because I have responded to like 5% of what I wanted to respond to tonight.
Your chuckles are, sufficient enough.
Absolutely. Anyway, I thank you if you've been on for this long. I sincerely thank you for hanging on until the end. Again,
True legends.
If you've been on for this long, feel free to tell us what you thought of the Rock Lee Gara fight in Naruto during the Chunin exams arc.
the first Chunin exams. My goodness, that's such a long. Anyway, we'll talk about this off screen, but there are plans and stuff, things that I have in mind that we'll talk about in the future when it comes to the ToV podcast. But we'll do that next year. And thank you everybody for commenting on the live chat. Always love the live chat. And feel free to leave a comment below as well on the YouTube, and we will get to those comments next time. Hopefully my voice won't be breaking up on January 8th when we come back. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it, and we'll see you next time. There, okay. And I just blew out my speakers. All right, love you guys. Bye. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to y'all.
Crushed it.